Hello, my name is Carley Schroeder. Today I'm going to be running you through some bodyweight exercises to keep you in shape and toned during your pregnancy. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start this exercise just by warming up the spine. So go ahead and find tabletop position. I want you to come down to all fours, and we're going to start just by tilting your pelvis. So we're going to shift the pelvis forward, and then we're going to round the pelvis down. So you're tucking your tailbone. So just making this small shift is really great for your pelvic floor muscles, which is great to help give you some control of your bladder. And it also helps strengthening those muscles for after the baby is born, that your lady parts all return back to normal. So we want a nice strong pelvic floor. And you are also welcome to do Kegels as you do these pelvic tilts. It's a great way to get those in as well. So now's the time to do Kegels and pelvic tilts, ladies. Hang in there. We're just going to do 2 more, tilting the pelvis, rounding the spine, and then lifting. And if you're carrying more baby weight, you don't have to try to force yourself an extreme extension. If that's a stretch in your belly, then stop when it feels uncomfortable. All right. Now we're going to shift our weight forward and then kick our weight back. Just getting a little bit movement in the hips. And if you find a twinge or something that doesn't feel so good for you, just make a small adjustment. We're kind of just rocking here. And now I want you to tuck the toes. We're going to turn on those core muscles. So tuck the toes, hands are right under the wrists and shoulders. You're going to lift your knees up off the mat and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release. Extend your left arm and your right leg. So you're reaching, engaging through the backside body, strengthening the muscles on the posterior chain. And as you exhale, draw your knee to your elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Draw your elbow and knee in. Inhale, reach. And we have 5 more on this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach and extend. Exhale. Round through the back. Set your left hand and your right knee down on the mat. Once again, tuck the toes, lift those knees up off the mat, engaging the core for 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. This time, switching sides. Extend the right arm and the left leg, and then draw your elbow to your knee. Remember to breathe as you do these exercises. We have 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1 more time. All right, excellent job. And last time, lift. Tuck the toes, lift the knees up off the ground, engaging the core for 3, 2, and 1. All right, so our core is nice and warmed up. We're working the muscles that move down the spine. Next, it's time for some push-ups. And we're going to be working not only the chest, shoulders, triceps, but also the serratus muscles on the sides here. So when you do this push-up, I'm going to use blocks because my baby's getting bigger, and so my bump's going to block. So if you have blocks to lift yourself up off the ground, you can go through a greater range of motion. So I'm staying on my knees here for this, bending the elbows, and then as you press up, I want you to not stop here, but extend all the way. So we have 10 push-ups just like that. Full range of motion. Go as low as you can, and then press yourself up So you're fully extended, locking out through the arms, and you can actually feel the muscles in your back working there. Stay strong. It's only 10 reps. You got this. 2 more. Last one. Excellent job. Sink the weight back, taking the knees nice and wide, making space for your baby. Stretch it out. Feel a stretch through your lats. We're going to set those blocks to the side. Next, we're going to come into a stretching position, which is great for your hips, opening up your hips. This is a yoga squat, Matsyana. Now, if you are very tight in your hips, maybe you are seeing that your heels are lifting up off the ground. If that's the case, you can always place blocks underneath the heels or pillows to come into this pose. Because it should be a little bit of a work, but it should be mainly a relaxation pose. Another thing you can do is to use a block or a pillow to lift your hips up and to provide you with some support so you're able to kind of relax in this position. And I want you to think about pressing your knees to the outsides of the room and bringing your chest forward. So it's a relaxation, stretching position here, just for a minute. Opening up the hips before we do some squats to strengthen our legs and our glutes. All right, if you are using a block, you can kick that out to the side. Take your hands, place them down on the mat, and kick your hips up towards the ceiling. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, so you're not going to get dizzy. And then I want you to take your knees, your feet about shoulder width apart. And then when you have a squat here, I want you to think about kicking your knees out. When you stand up, I want you to think of squeezing your glutes and bringing those knees back to center. So from the front, it's like we're sitting back in a chair, but our knees are kicking out. Our inner thighs have to engage to squeeze our glutes and our inner thighs standing back up. Two more. All right, nice job. Relax, shake it out. You should feel the heat building up in your buns. We're going to do a little bit of strength training for the abductors. So if you have a band, I have these loopy bands, but if you even have a stretchy band like this, you can tie it in a knot to give yourself a little resistance. If not, moving through the motions is still going to be great for you. So if you have the bands, all I want you to do is step from side to side without rocking, all right? So your belly is stacked over your hips and it stays that way even when you take a step. If you don't have a band or if you have a problem with balance, you can get the same benefits of this exercise by just placing your hand on a wall next to you and kicking your heel out to the side. So you're engaging your glutes here and you're really going to be working on strengthening the muscles in the hips. Even just balancing is really great for the core. So you decide what works best for you. 10 on one side and then we'll switch sides. And same thing, other side. You can decide if you want to step here or if you're going to stand on the wall and just kick your hip out to the side. Completely up to you. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, our last exercise is going to be hip presses or bridges. Now, if you're further in your pregnancy and laying on your back puts a lot of pressure on your gut, you feel dizzy or you don't feel right, then you can use, once again, blocks or a pillow behind your upper body to support you. But if you're in your first trimester or early on in your second trimester, you don't have to necessarily do that. So I'm actually going to use the blocks here just to show how it's done. You're going to push your hips up towards the ceiling and then lower your hips right back down towards the ground. So all you're doing is pushing down through your heels, squeezing your glutes, pressing your hips up towards the ceiling, and then lowering those hips back down. Now for me, I don't necessarily have a problem laying on my back, as long as it's not for a real long time. So I'm going to do that. Here it is on your back side. Same thing. Drive down through your heels. Your knees are going to stay parallel. And if anything, I want you to think of pushing them out. And then avoid letting the knees cave in when you do these exercises. So we have 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up into your bridge and hold. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone down, keep those hips lifted, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, lower those hips down. You can draw one knee in towards your chest. Take it out to an angle and to account for the baby, and switch sides. You're welcome to repeat those same exercises again if you're ready to go round 2 or round 3. If you're very new to exercise, that may be just enough for you. And give yourself a big high five. Great job for just getting a couple minutes of movement in. I know at this point, with your hormones changing, you may not be used to feeling the fatigue, and it takes a lot out of you. So great job for getting through these exercises. And if you really want to be a go-getter, hit play again and go for round 2. Thank you for joining me for this workout. I enjoy your support, and leave a comment below. Have a great day.